Hey everyone, welcome back. Today is a video to update you on perfumes that I purchased recently. As a lot of you may know, I decided to sell a lot of my favorite fragrances. They're on eBay at the moment. The auction ends on Wednesday. If anyone's interested, I'll leave the links in the description below. It is UK only. I decided to add my little Tutun bust on eBay as well, and that used to sit in the middle of the bookcase there, in the middle of the perfumes. And so that's listed. A lot of you would not have seen that on the listing because I put it on like a day later. I don't want to ship it overseas because it's heavy and I don't know how much it'll cost. So if you're in the UK and you want it, you can put a bid on that if you want. Yeah, I bought that in Cairo, just outside the Giza pyramids. But I sold about 8 bottles of perfume, including my favorite Tuscan leather, and I just kind of wanted to start again and have like a bit of a fresh start was my idea behind it. And so I purchased 3 new fragrances and all of them have arrived now. The last one arrived today at lunchtime. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through the 3 that I purchased in the last week and let you know what I decided to go for. In the last 2 weeks I have finished 3 full bottles and they all like ended up being finished in the same week basically, which is a like funny coincidence. So just to let you know, bottles that I have completely finished now. Abel's White Vetiver, I enjoyed this a lot. Very fresh, clean vetiver with like a lime citrus top note. Very nice. I just finished that last week. Matriarch's Madrona. This was a lavender vetiver fragrance, a little bit of a kind of an irisy kind of note in there as well. But that's completely empty now. I finished that like the day after this one. And also I had a 30ml Creed Aventus for the last 8 years or something like that. I finished that in the same week as I finished these two. So it took me like 8 years to get through 30ml of Aventus. But those are empty. I will not be replacing them. They're just gone now. A fragrance in my collection that is going to be running out this year for sure is Atelier Cologne Pomelo Paradis. As you can see the level there at the bottom. There's not that much left. Come the summertime, that will disappear rapidly. And so I wanted a replacement for this that isn't the same fragrance. I wanted to go somewhere different, but I still really like the citrus that Atelier Cologne make. I think they do fantastic citruses, and I wanted to change from this one. So what I decided to go for is Clementine, California. And here it is, Atelier Cologne, Clementine, California. I bought 100ml from John Lewis, I think it was. And so yeah, I went to the Atelier Cologne website and I was thinking about buying the kind of the set that they do where you get a 100ml bottle, then you get a travel ml 30ml with in like a pouch, and you can have the pouch, you can have your name written on it if you want to. But they were out of stock of the 30ml of this. They only had the big bottle, so I would have had to get a different fragrance as a 30ml, and I didn't want a different fragrance, I wanted this one. So I didn't bother with that and just got 100ml from John Lewis instead. But very nice fragrance. It's a nice change. It's got a beautiful, fresh, juicy, clean clementine orange note, and it dries down into this kind of almost very clean moisturizer kind of smell. It's kind of a little bit, not quite shampoo-y, a little bit shampoo-y, but like moisturizing cream a little bit, with this very, very out of the shower, fresh, clean kind of vibe, with this beautiful citrus note, which is just very nice, very clean, very easy to wear, and very appropriate for the summertime, so I'll definitely enjoy that. I noticed wearing it that the bubble around me is not as strong as Pomelo Paradis. It feels a little bit weaker, a little bit closer to the skin. It sits a little bit closer than this one does. I can smell this one easier. Nevertheless, I do like it, and I think it's a nice choice for the summertime. So that's the first one I have decided to go for, and it will be replacing Pomelo Paradis once this runs out. So they're sat together on the bookcase at the moment. The next fragrance I decided to go for might not be a surprise because I have talked about it and I've talked about my interest in having it. And this is by Creed. It's Royal Oud. Personally, I'd call it Royal Cedar. I don't get any kind of oudi vibe from this whatsoever. I get a nice peppery kind of cedar. It's pepper, woody, that's the vibe that I get. I just enjoyed it. I never used to like this fragrance when I first smelled it. I was like, ooh, it's like an old granddad smell. I didn't like it at all. It wasn't me. And I've kind of grown into it, and I think last year I tried a sample and reviewed it, and my taste had changed, and I was like, oh, wow, actually I enjoy wearing this. It smells great. I like it. And so it was on my to buy list, and when Aventus ran out, I knew I was never going to buy Aventus again. I've had 8 years of it. I don't feel, you know, that's enough for me. I wanted to change. So Royal Oud is the new one that I got. I bought it brand new from the Creed website. It's a 50ml. Considering Aventus, a 30ml lasted me 8 years, I'd imagine this will last me quite a while, probably until I'm 50. I'm not a massive fan of Creed in general. A lot of their fragrances are to me personally. But this one I did enjoy, and I will definitely enjoy wearing it. I think probably will end up being one of my more worn fragrances this year. Like I said, I seem to have grown into this one. Never used to like it, but really I do appreciate it now. The last fragrance that I decided to purchase will be a surprise for you, as it was a surprise for me. I reviewed this a long time ago. I don't know how many years ago it was, to be honest. Maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And at the time I was like, didn't give it a brilliant review, and I was like, I'm not sure why a man would wear it. I haven't watched it back, so maybe I'm wrong, but I felt like my impression was it's too feminine. I don't quite get why a guy would wear it, and I didn't give it a brilliant review. I thought it was... But I noticed my taste has definitely changed over the last 5 years. One of the changes that I've had is with the note of rose, and I started to really develop a liking for rose, especially when I started making my own perfume and learning how to blend and smelling the raw materials, and really liking the notes of rose in themselves, as like absolutes and rose ottos. I really enjoyed working with rose, and I really started to appreciate it in perfume, even when they're not using rose absolutes and they're using like rose accords in general. I just started really enjoying rose, whereas before I didn't so much. In that enjoyment, my perception of it being feminine kind of was switched to where I didn't care. I liked how it smelled. And so I have a few perfumes that are rose scented in my collection. This is another rose scented fragrance that I decided to revisit I decided to put some samples from Amouage, and I thought to myself, they had a rose fragrance, Lyric Man, I'll get a sample, I'll see if my taste has changed. And I wore the sample, and I was like, wow, I really like this a lot. And surprisingly to me, after 1 day of wearing the sample, I bought a full bottle the same day. I decided to go for a 50ml, bought it directly from the Amouage website, full retail 50ml bottle, and Amouage Lyric Man, wasn't a huge fan of it when I first smelled it. 5 years later, I don't know, my taste has changed. I think it smells great. I love it. I was wearing it today. I really enjoy it. I think at the moment this will be probably my most worn fragrance in my collection for a little while, because I really enjoyed wearing it today, and it's uplifting, it's bright, it's a fresh, clean, bright rose. There's a little bit of a spicy top note, and again, a bit like the Atelier Cologne, it has a slightly creamy kind of, almost like moisturizing cream, a little bit. It has a little bit of that going on as it dries down, but the rose note is the whole way through. It doesn't fade away quickly as a top note, it lasts a long time. And the rose is just very pretty, very beautiful, very clean, very fresh, but still has it's very, very rosy, basically, and I like it. I think it smells cool. So yeah, it was a surprise for me. I didn't expect to be buying a bottle of this at all, but yeah, good stuff. I'm definitely going to enjoy wearing this one. I like the bottles. Again, I'm like Creed, I'm not a massive fan of the brand Amouage. I've smelled a lot of their perfumes, and in general, not my cup of tea, not my taste personally. I don't I'm not overwhelmed by basically anything that they make. To be honest, I'm not a fan. But this one, after going back to it, I appreciate this one. The women's version as well, Lyric Woman, is very, very good. I gave it a good review. But this one, yeah, I had to buy a bottle after wearing the sample. In fact, I just had a bath before doing the review, and I'm going to spray it on now because I'm not wearing anything since having a bath. So yeah, really nice. I think, like I say, this is probably going to be one of my most worn fragrances this year. I'm definitely enjoying it. Just to let you know, I did purchase that full retail from our Marge website. Included in the box was these little shower gel things, which I wasn't expecting. Didn't pay for them, obviously. They're just little free gifts. One was Interlude bath and shower gel, so 25ml, and the other one is Imitation. I just had a bath and I tried that out, the Interlude. I don't like Interlude as a fragrance, Interlude man. It's one of the fragrances that made me feel a bit sick and had to scrub it off my skin. It's that disgusting to me. Although it'd be interesting to revisit it again to see if my taste has changed and how I approach that now. But I didn't like it originally, and so I tried that in the bath just now. It lathers up well. This smells good. It's quite sweet. I can't remember exactly how Interlude smelled because it's been that long since I've tried it, because my reaction was so bad I never smelled it since. It's been quite a while. But this smells fine, and it lathered up well, and yeah, I scrubbed my back with it, and you know, it was nice. It smells nice as you're washing. When you come out of the bath or out of the shower and you dry off, it doesn't leave a scent on your skin. You cannot smell it afterwards, which for me is a good thing. But yeah, it doesn't perfume you after you know, dry yourself off or whatever. So I would never ever buy it as a separate thing. I wouldn't waste my money. But since it's free, I will make use of them, and they're quite nice. So that's it. Those are the 3 that I decided to add to my collection. Again, I've got 8 for sale on eBay if anyone wants to bid for them. Thank you also, by the way, for the generous bidding. I feel like you're bidding too much on purpose almost, but it is appreciated. Thank you. It does help support me in terms of, you know, funding buying some of the new ones for the collection. So it definitely helps me, so thank you very much. I will have some more reviews coming, because when I bought the Royal Oud, they also gave me a couple of free samples. The reviews aren't going to be great, I'll be honest, because I have smelled them and I was bitterly disappointed. This is Aventus Cologne, and not a fan, and Viking Cologne. I didn't like the original. This one is a little bit better than the original, but I'm still not a massive fan of it. So I'll probably review these, although they might not be the best reviews. I'll do my best. So that's it. That's the 3 fragrances that I've added to my collection. There's 8 that have left, and I think 3 that I've worn out and used up. I'm not going to be collecting and adding things to the collection. I want to kind of use what I have, and then, you know, purchase something else once I've used what I have. That's it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you soon with some more reviews. I have notes written on a few fragrances, so we'll be having some reviews in the next coming days. Stay safe everyone, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.